Great people of Earth, you see, today we shall be reacting together to a whole crazy compilation of videos. Videos that might leave your jaw dropping and others that might really tickle your funny bone. You see? And we shall not just be doing that. We shall also be on our mission of spreading love to all earthlings, making sure that people forgive each other and have honesty. You see? And that way we can unite and be incredible earthlings. Respect to yourself for that gesture. Hit the like button and watch till the end. I am 311H man. Very out of Africa. There's lots of good vibes, man. Let's dive in. Tell us where you're watching from. Good vibes all the way.
Mind-blowing archaeological discoveries, Part 1. A pair of Viking ice skates found in York. The skates are made from horsebone and were cut and polished. A 4,000-year-old Babylonian clay tablet found in Uruk with 3 geometric circles containing astronomical calculations. A carved wooden statue found by a fisherman off the coast of the Netherlands, dating back to the 17th century. The door threshold of an Assyrian king from 2,800 years ago, discovered at Nimrud in Iraq. A gold funerary mask, discovered at the site of Mycenae in southern Greece, dating back to the 16th century BC. 3 almost perfectly preserved ancient Greek mosaics found at the ancient city of Zugma. Over 100,000 bronze coins found in Japan hidden by samurai in the 15th century. A 3,200-year-old ancient Egyptian attendance sheet found in Deir el-Medina. The reasons for the worker's absence included embalming his brother, brewing beer, and he was bitten by a scorpion.
I told you, man, some mind-blowing stuff. And this is just the beginning. You can't imagine the end. Look at this. This stuff is called a korugo, and it's a native to the Australians. He seems very confused but sweet. It definitely seems confused. Look at it, man. It's probably wondering, oh my god, what is this I got myself into? Now there's this stuff here that can control other stuff. And then humans have come out of nowhere. Oh my god. I must have gotten myself in one of those big messes our ancestors tell us about. You see, they also have stories if we assume like that. Because they are also good vibes creatures. You see? Good vibes till the end, man.
For the dumb masses. And why they calling it solar? Solar eclipse. This is bullshit for the dumb masses. And like I say, they show you nothing but the sun in the sky in the daytime. And they tell you it's gonna eclipse with something that you see nowhere near it before it eclipse. Okay, I know already. They can't fool me. Now go back again. Now look at this right here, people. They're showing you that the moon gonna pass and block the sun. And remember the sun supposed to be one of the biggest supposedly planets, as they call them. The moon is just one of the smallest. How can the sun get blocked off completely by a fucking moon? Okay, so you see what they're doing there? And listen what I'm trying to tell you as I show you this clip right here. Go on a little bit, okay? That show you that a moon covered the damn sun right there. Before the moon eclipse. Pay attention, people. Pay attention and look for the moon. You're never gonna see the moon going and going and going close to the sun for it to make an eclipse. They just tell you, look, the eclipse is on, and then bam, you see this. You understand what I'm saying? What is passing by the sun that can block it? Move.
Is predicted in April. This happens when the moon...
No, good people of Earth. Do you think that guy has some idea?
The truth in your face. Check out this commercial where they show the firmament and the waters above the firmament. What you just saw was biblically accurate. God's word states we live under a firmament that separates the waters above the firmament. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. The Hebrew word for firmament is rakia, which is extended surface, solid expanse, the vault of heaven supporting the waters above it, considered by Hebrews as solid and supporting the waters above it. But what do y'all think about this commercial? Y'all let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow me, and share this. Let's get this out to the people. And like always, God bless.
Oh man, let's see, leave people comments. Okay. UFO mothership spotted in the clouds. Let me, good people of Earth, did you see that stuff? Looks like
So today allow
some
me
ship.
to tell you that not all people that you see here on the earth are purely humans like you and me. If that is, you're a human. Most of the people that you're seeing walking, talking, thinking, eating, drinking, even you're married to some of them, they are purely not humans. They are other things, other beings. And I may say this and then you may wonder, how comes, Keith, you're talking about this? Why are you saying this? It is because it's true. First and foremost, let's define what is a human. What is a human? What are the characteristics of a human? We understand a true human has three things. One, he has a body, a soul, and a spirit. Unless you have these three, you're not a human. Now, most of the people that you see around, they have a body. A body is not a problem. They also have a spirit. A spirit is not a problem. You can either have the spirit of God, or you have the evil spirit. So whatever body that you see walking around either has an evil spirit or a good spirit. Okay, that's not a problem. But the problem comes in with the soul. The soul. So most people, they do not have a soul. They don't have a soul. So now let's define what is a soul. A soul comprises of three things. It comprises of the mind, emotion, and will. Mind, emotion, and free will. So now, the mind is the ability to think, to be creative, what we call your star, your light that shines. And then we have the emotions, that is the empathy, that feeling, the feeling that you feel, oh, I love, I don't love. You're empathetic, that thing, that is what is called the emotion. And then we have the other thing, which is a free will, the ability to make a choice, to choose right and wrong, to choose this and that out of understanding. You know, you cannot choose unless you've understood. And that is what we call a personality. Now, let's first and foremost also see what the Bible actually tells us. The Bible tells us that God formed us in our mother's wombs. He knew us from when we were in our mother's womb. There's something so profound about the creation story and how we are not the creation of the world, but the creation of us in the womb. Now, I wish I could have checked this before, but let me just paraphrase it, but you can go and check it out later. Now, when an egg, a sperm meets an egg in the womb, that moment of conception, there is light which is emitted. Just go and research about that. I didn't have time to research about that before the video. So that light which is emitted, is the actual fertilization which happens. During that moment of conception, fertilization, immediately it happens, there is light which is emitted. Didn't Jesus say that I'm the light of the world? That I am the life? And without this light, then that egg and that fertilization is dead on arrival. That child is not alive. So what happens if fertilization is done in another way, outside the womb, outside this godly process? Can you call that a human? Do you think they have life from God? Do you think artificial life is life at all? That is one part. Do you think that is life at all? No. Do you think IVF and those children born in fixing, I will call fixing, these super baths which you cannot be able to understand, baths which are fixed in the hospitals, do you think they are really, that person has a soul? Because a soul can only be given by God. And number two, something else you have to understand. If somebody is synthetic, like right now we have so many synthetics, do you want to tell me those synthetics, they are real? They have a soul? Because a soul is a mind, emotions, and free will. Do they really have that? What are the odds that most of the people you see out there in the world, what are the odds that they're all human? You know, we have to look at things in a very deep way. Are they all like you, flesh and blood? Let me give you a good example. You see, real humans are attracted to thought because they are thoughtful beings. They are attracted to thought. They love where there are thoughtfulness. Like when you tell them something which requires them to think, they will be interested because they have a mind to think. Where else, non-humans, they are attracted to programming. They love programming. What is trending, what is going on, you know, everything where people are moving this way, they're moving that way. Because of what? They enjoy that so much. Because that's the only thing that they don't need to think, because they don't have a mind. And I'm going to be speaking exclusively, giving you in the next videos examples to show you, my friends, that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We are wrestling against rulers and powers and principalities in high places. Not all people are the same, my friends. And this has been from the beginning. Why do you think Jesus, when he was talking about prayer, and he was speaking in John chapter 17, he was praying for the disciples. He said, Father, I prayed for all that you have given unto me, except the son of perdition, Judas, so that the scriptures may be fulfilled. Do you think Jesus was biased? That he didn't pray for Judas? He knew this guy cannot be saved because he's not a human. He was a hybrid. My friends, when I talk about hybrid humans, they're out there, millions of them. Millions of them. And probably there are many more. There are many than the humans. I know this is a topic which is so complicated, and I love to take you slow and slow so that you can be able to understand. And I believe and I pray that God will open a way that we'll be able to speak about this over and over without anything being shattered, because Satan would want to shatter, but in the name of Jesus he shall be defeated. And we shall speak this topic, and people will be liberated in understanding who we are wrestling against.
Yeah, man. I know you're
The
all
fucking
good
world
vibes
is
people.
$281 trillion in debt. To who?
You are in luck. There's a parable all about this, and it's awesome. There is a town somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and everyone owes each other money. And then one day, a traveler comes to town, and he stays in a motel. The motel has a full refund policy after 24 hours. He puts down $100 and gets a room. The motel owner, he looks at this $100 and he's like, whoa, oh my God, this is exactly how much money I owe to the baker. So he goes and pays off his debt to the baker. The baker looks at this money and he's like, well, this is exactly how much I owe to the shoemaker. And he goes to the shoemaker and pays off his debt, and goes through several people until eventually someone's like, hey, I owe this amount of money to the motel owner. So he gives it to the motel owner back where it started. And then the traveler is like, hey, it's been 24 hours and I don't like it here. So he takes his money back and he leaves. Everyone has the same amount of money, but then suddenly nobody's in debt because money isn't real.
Oh, well, man. That's why you should not be slaves of money. Oh, good people of Earth, have you ever had encounters with such stuff, man? American airliner passenger observed 6 to 7 disc-shaped glowing objects during flight to where is that place, Los Angeles or where? 30,000 feet. And this is 2023 back then, on the 4th of May. This is great stuff, man. You see those stuff, they are coming like it's, what do you call this? What do you call it? This is crazy, man. It's like they have arranged themselves in some funny type of way here. Oh, this is unbelievable. Do you think these good people over this stuff are UFOs? And they are not drones or the ships made by humans? You see? This is creepy. And now you might wonder, why are they always spectating, watching us from above there, you see? And they even never say anything, you see? And you wonder, they are afraid of humans. You see, these guys, they know. See, these people unite, they can do incredible stuff. That's why most probably they always watch and never intervene. That is if they exist. You see, these videos are for entertainment purposes. And this is allegedly. So, this stuff here, we look at it and we just ask ourselves a lot of questions. But anyway, wonderful source. Thanks for clicking and watching up to this far. You see, there's this good vibes animal here. This dog that was just chilling with some chick. Oh, this is nice, man. And they have this wonderful relationship all around. The dog always cuddling this chick here. And it's good vibes.
From over the course of the 12th and 13th century into the 14th century, a form of evil which is directly traced by the Venetians themselves to the ancient Canaanite city of Tyre had arisen to great power in the north of the Adriatic Sea, the city of Venice, which has been in recent time, until he moved to London, the residence of Satan on earth. These people great power. They built a maritime power in the image of ancient Phoenicia, which is Canaan. Phoenicia is a Greek word. The people of that region were called the Canaanites. And the center of evil was Tyre. Tyre was destroyed by a great man, Alexander the Great. But the principle of Tyre lived on. And it came through the Roman Empire, it came to reside in Venice. And from about 800 AD on, Venice was an increasing power in the Mediterranean. It became a great sea power, which became a dictatorship over the Mediterranean over the period from the course of the 12th century into the beginning of the 13th century with the so-called Fourth Crusade. And I can tell you all the Crusades were frauds. They were all run by the Venetians. Nothing to do with Christianity. They had to do with something else. The Fourth Crusade was organized by Venice to conquer and loot Byzantium, which is its major competitor. And the Latin Empire in Byzantium was set up from 1204 to 1261, when a fellow called Michael Paleog overthrew it on behalf of the Greeks. But Venice became a great looting power. It crushed every element of civilization. It imposed evil cults. It spread the cult of Aristotle throughout the Mediterranean and other cults. It looted everything. It imposed its debt every place. It manipulated nations into making war on one another. They weren't real nations, but they were whatever passed for at that time. They plunged Europe into war and usury and looting and bestiality and cruelty. And nothing could seem to stop it. The political institutions of Europe collapsed at about 1250, or over the period 1250 to 1267, in a series of wars. A leading figure of the late 13th century and early 14th century, Dante Alighieri, typified those who fought desperately to save civilization from this pestilence of Venice and the Venetians' Mongol allies, who are attacking Europe from the west, or from the east. Venice's power grew. Dante was probably murdered by the Venetians after a trip into Venice and its area. The ideas of Dante lived on through various networks. Not only Dante, but there were great Franciscans and others who continued the tradition, the Augustinian tradition, and developed it then as before. Then in the middle of the century, the 14th century, the whole system collapsed in a chain reaction of bankruptcy, starting with the King of England discovering, by checking with his priest that not only was usury a mortal sin, but that he, as the King of England, by continuing to pay his debts to usury, was actually contributing to the eternal damnation of the soul of his creditors. The King of England repudiated his debts to the houses of Bardi and Peruzzi, which were Florentine-based, but they were key bankers of the period, who had looted every part of Europe through this bank. It's very much like the IMF conditionalities today. As a matter of fact, the IMF conditionalities are a repetition, a continuation of the Venetian tradition. They are evil. The people who run the IMF are evil. The bureaucrats of the IMF as a collectivity are purely evil. They are mass murderers. They have already killed far more people on this planet than Adolf Hitler succeeded in doing. They are wiping out the people of developing countries. What they've contributed to with their English masters, including Linda Chalker, who is the colonial minister, they call it overseas development now, but she's really the colonial minister, from the House of Lords, who was given to us by Lady Thatcher, who was reputed to be a witch because she succeeded in transforming a merely bankrupt England into a rubbish heap.
Oh, man. Oh, good people of that. About that information.
From eons ago on the highest level to think that this is the way we should be living. And that we now need to wake up and completely realize we've been mind pimped. And it hurts, but it's the truth. And that we now need to rethink everything we thought that was real and see ourselves in a completely different light. We need to forgive our ancestors for what they did and forgive ourselves for what we've done. And we need to plan for a better future together as a civilization. That's what we need to be doing right now. But you can't do that unless you dig into the past. If you want to heal trauma in the body, there's no way to heal trauma in the body unless you do the shadow work and face the trauma.
Yo, man. Some good vibes guy asked for Bill Carson's videos. You see?
Scientists
So
are
you should
scared
say
out
leave
of
your
their
comments.
mind of what is going to happen. Now, CERN will tell you on their website, we have no intention of doing anything wrong. Who has intention of blowing up the world? Who has intention of accidentally cracking open a time-space continuum and having something on the other side? Well, I believe they're not telling the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So take a look at this quote straight from the director of research at CERN concerning the exact purpose of this Hadron Collider. Listen to this. Quote, something may come through dimensional doors at LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. And out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of CERN, they tell you it's all for scientific research. No, they're looking for the God particle. They want to know what's holding the universe together. And ultimately, they're trying to get into time travel. They want to open up the curtain of what is behind our dimension and get into the multiverse. This is what they're after. They believe there are multiple universes happening and in parallel to one another simultaneously, and they want to tear that open, and they know that something has the potential of coming through it. Now, we just read out of the book of Revelation that the Apollyon comes out, that the doors of the deep the gates are opened up and crazy things come out of the deep. Could it possibly be, would it be that much of a stretch to say that maybe we're the ones that do it? Maybe in our effort in mankind to find a wormhole, to get into Star Trek world, to discover more and more and more and more, like the Tower of Babel, that eventually maybe we actually do open up the space-time continuum. We open up the doors of the second dimension and the demonic realm comes alive onto this earth. It's very possible. They just said that's exactly what they know is possible. So for what's really fascinating is evolution is dead. The scientists at the highest level now know there is a spiritual realm. There is another dimension beyond ours, and they're trying to tap into it. And my friends, the last time this happened was the Tower of Babel, and it didn't go over too well for them.
Oh man, some crazy stuff those one.
Family,
Well,
just think about this. We're living in a time that we see a big shift is happening. Look at this. Just released a gold and silver plate of the prophets. We're living in a time that people are standing up and uniting. Look. We are witnessing how the most powerful entities are being brought to their knees by the humans. But it's not finished yet, because on 8th of April, the cycle is ending with a solar eclipse. Because don't forget that during the tech bubble, there was a solar eclipse. And also the oil crisis, look, in 1973. And again, an eclipse occurred when the Vietnam War ended. Family, what do you think that will happen? Unlock the teachings of the land of Kemet, also known as ancient Egypt here, family. Kemetic.app, link in bio.
oh dude. Oh man, wonderful utterings.
Check
Do you
this out,
think
you
it's a
guys. Have you
coincidence?
guys ever seen this? This lady says it happened to her car after it started raining. Now you can clearly see what appears to be patches of tar, but upon further examination, they smelled it and it smells like rubber. But when you look closer, you guys, they are bugs. Have you guys ever seen this? Check it out.
So Jeff comes in and gets me, and he's like, Jamie, come look at this black stuff in the driveway beside your tire. And I was like, is something leaking? Is it asphalt? And he sticks his hand down, and it smells like rubber, and he sticks his hand down, and it's bugs. That is all tiny little bugs, and they're moving. I'm so
Look at that, y'all.
all of that is like millions and millions, and it's just on these two tires and different specs in the driveway.
What are those little bugs, y'all? Have you guys ever seen that?
I've never seen anything like this before.
Me neither. And why are they on the tires? Why are they on the tires? And why so many of them? They're like millions and millions, y'all. And they're on the tires? Does anybody know what those are? And what do they do? What are their special abilities? Because I've never heard of those things before. Now, again, we are entering a new age where we're seeing new animals and new creatures coming into being. Could this be one of those as well? But it's interesting, they came after the rain and they are dark like the tires. Like, you can't even tell. Can those be special nanotechnology, y'all? What do y'all think? But let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during this interesting times. With everything that's going on in the sky right now, y'all, you never know or can trust what's coming out there. So let us know what you guys think about this video. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
Oh, looks like there's a bug in the matrix or what's up, man? Crazy stuff. And rocket pierces through the firmament. Let's see this, man. Oh. Ah, let's see. This rocket is launched and that's how it goes. Oh. And let's see if it will really tear through the firmament. Do you really think it will reach their good people by? Anyway, let's see. So I was telling you to watch it in the end so that we can know this stuff and decide together. Because now, good people, you see, we are all seeing it's going up, everything looks normal. Let's keep on seeing. Do you think anything abnormal is going to happen or is about to happen? I also don't know, but let's watch, man. Because I believe we shall learn something new or see something new. You see, this one does not go sideways like maybe we have seen in another episode. You see? Oh, this is crazy. Oh my god, the rocket keeps going up. It goes up, it goes up. And allegedly it will go through the firmament. Let's see how far it was meant to reach, man. Oh. What? It did it. Oh, did you see this, good people of us? Like it reached some layer there of water. How did it go like that, man? Do you mean it was meant to go there to that far? Even through the firmament? It's crazy stuff this was. Wow. Interesting utterings and good people of us. You see this crazy stuff that we see here sometimes is unbelievable, and it's why we really need one another. To care for one another as we do for ourselves. That way we can even be able to share information that we have. You see, honestly, with our neighbors there, you can understand stuff like this. You see, for watching up to this far, good vibes, people, hit the like button if you have not yet, and leave comments of where you are from, and good vibes, man. Big up to some guys here, and let's big up some people. My friend, why don't you give me like some names, 2 names? Which two guys do you want us to start with? You see, he's MJ Stinson. I've got him a little bit off guard. He takes time to load, but he remembers MJ Stinson. Big up to yourself, man. Big up to Josie. Big up to Christy Hutchins. Big up to Above Average Joe. At Minimalist. Big up to at who else? The only Jedi. All those guys, man. You see, you guys, you are just incredible. And those gestures of love, they are really heartwarming to us. See, it's very happy when you read these comments, isn't it? Yeah, it's very nice, man. Good waves to you. Peace and love till next time. We are out.